Dear chairs, dear audience, allow me to start my presentation, New Insights in the Management of Partially or Completely Edentulous Patients. I am Yasir and Muhammad, a dentist from Iraq. My supervisor is Gabor Varga, my SMS is Petrana. My vision is to provide the patient with durable, aesthetic and comfortable prosthesis. My mission is to investigate the recent evidences regarding implant abutments in fixed and removable prosthodontics. According to that, I have two ongoing projects. The first one is comparing the long-term success of zirconia, polyether, ether ketone, and titanium implant abutments. Second one is investigating the efficacy and safety of added soft liners on removable dentures. The first one is a systematic review and meta-analysis. We started in September the last year, and we plan to maybe be able to submit it in the next month, October 2024. As a summary, according to a survey made in the USA in 2020, there is more than 240 million people in USA having at least one missing tooth. Of course, the base replacement is with a fixed prosthesis, so that the implant annual growth rate is maybe 5.7%. So there are more than 500,000 people in the USA undergoing implantation annually. One of the components of the implantation is the implant abutment, which may be made of a variety of materials like gold, zirconia, titanium, PEK, which is a polymer. Each material has advantage and disadvantage. The gold standard is titanium, but it's like aesthetics. Zirconia may be of aesthetics, smooth surface, but like rigidity, or it is a rigid, but like ductility. So each material has advantage and disadvantage. So that's why our clinical question is that what is the performance of zirconia, PEK, and titanium abutments in clinical practice? Our PICO framework is that the P is patient with implants, the intervention is zirconia or PEK abutments, the control is titanium abutments, and the outcome is the survival rate, technical complications, probing depth, aesthetics, and others. Our hypothesis is that zirconia and PEK are non-inferior to titanium regarding durability with better aesthetics. Our clinical or research implication is improving the aesthetics, functioning, and durability of implant support the prosthesis. We started our systematic search in 4 databases. This is our search key. We started with more than 11,000 articles, ended up with 33. This is a picture of our Prisma flowchart. We maybe divided the search into 2 parts. Conventional analysis of zirconia versus titanium, where there is multiple studies, and network analysis of only RCTs, which include zirconia, PEK, and titanium. We divided the outcomes maybe into durability, biological, which is safety, aesthetics, and we don't have about cost. It would be favorable, but there is no data about the cost. I will try to summarize or give example of each one. At first, we divided into multiple periods of time, T1, T2, T3, but then we merged it together to see the overall estimate due to the limited number of studies also. So we did in one group regardless of the follow-up time. For example, this is the survival rate between zirconia and titanium. We see that maybe we included 9 studies, 7 RCTs, 2 non-RCTs. There may be more survival in titanium, but we can see that according to the odds ratio, it is non-significant. So we can say that zirconia and titanium maybe have a similar survival rate for a follow-up period of maybe 13 years according to HAMA study. This is a network analysis of zirconia, PEK, and titanium regarding the survival rate. This was done by the T-score, which measures the area under the curve, and the League plot for the confidence interval. Of course, we have to inform the statistician about the value, higher value is good or bad. Of course, for survival, it is good. So more survival was with titanium, but it is non-significant, but PEK and zirconia shows comparable results to titanium. This is another outcome, which is the technical complications like screw loosening, chipping off crown, veneering fracture, and we see that more technical complications with titanium compared to zirconia. This is an example of aesthetic outcome, which is the delta E, or mucosal color change, which measures the difference in soft tissue color regarding the one with the natural tooth. So when there is high value, mean high difference than natural, it is worse, and low value is good. And we see that for RCTs and for non-RCTs, better results was associated with zirconia. So it's associated with better aesthetics, and this was also statistically significant. For the network analysis of the three abutments regarding aesthetics, we see that PEK shows comparable results to zirconia, and titanium was the least. Papillary index, another example of aesthetic, which shows the ability of papillary growth to fill the black triangle. So higher values is better, and we see that it's better with zirconia than titanium. Also, it is statistically non-significant, but it shows maybe of clinical relevance due to the similar tendencies of all the three studies, which are all RCTs. Example of biological outcome, which is the bone loss, which is measured in periapical radiograph. As you can see here, that of course we informed that more values is worse. So zirconia was the best, which associated with less bone loss, and titanium was the worst. This was statistically non-significant, but PEK showed comparable results to both other abutments. Also, for the propping depth, it is similar. We saw that titanium was the worst, PEK was the best. Also, it was non-statistical significance, but there was comparable results. So we can say that our strength was multiple human clinical outcomes, multiple follow-up periods of time ranging from 1 month to 13 years, possibility of network meta of RCTs, but the limitation is that we included RCTs and non-RCTs. Also, there was few studies concerned with PEK, and there was heterogeneity in the collection of some outcomes, like due to the variety of indices and percentage frequencies, so we have to manage these. We can say that both titanium and zirconia are effective and safe. Zirconia is associated with better aesthetics, and PEK showed comparable results to both zirconia and titanium. Our implication for practice is that zirconia and PEK can be used as alternative to titanium with better aesthetics. The implication for search, more studies concerning PEK and the influence of cost effectiveness and the difference between customized and stock abutments if it's used. Right now, I am in the stage of manuscript. I may be able to finish maybe and submit it in October 20. And I hope to be able to submit it in Periodontology 2000. Regarding the second topic, it's also systematic review and meta-analysis, investigating the efficacy and safety of added soft liners on removable dentures. So also in a study by American College of Prosthodontics, there is more than 36 million Americans having no teeth, completely edentulous. 90% of them having dentures, 15% of those renewing their dentures each year, due to the residual ridge resorption, which is the tissue changes under the denture. So that's why they need frequent relining. And the soft liners is one of the relining materials that added an advantage of cushioning and shock absorption. So our clinical question is that does the addition of soft liners improve the mastication, chewing ability, and satisfaction of patients with removable dentures? Our PICO framework is the P patient with removable prosthodontics. The intervention is the denture with soft liners, the control is no liners, and the outcome is patient satisfaction, chewing ability, and the durability. Our hypothesis is that adding soft liners, improving the chewing ability and durability of removable prostheses. We're still in the stage of checking the feasibility, and our aim is to be able to submit the first project in October 2024 and the second one in January of the next year. And allow me to finish my presentation with a quotation by Stephen Covey: "Success is not an accident, it is actually a choice." Thank you very much.
I don't know if you consider the abutment, let's say titanium abutment, rather, which are covered with gold color. Was it any difference? Because titanium usually comes in as a gray color, but also it might be processed to a...
Actually, we didn't. We just check as a total as titanium abutment with no subgrouping, like it is anodized or not, it is treated or not, just titanium, zirconia, and PEK.
Because for the aesthetics, it might be quite a difference between these two types.
Indeed, there's a very limited studies. I tried to see like some comparison between pink anodized, gold anodized, and something, but it was very limited studies, and like we cannot gather it with our studies to find a total conclusion or data extraction. So that's why we depend on these articles that may have similar results or similar data collection or like this.
You mentioned that as a limitation, the high heterogeneity between the studies. Can you mention some of them?
For example, like especially in a black index, like there are multiple indices, and sometimes they collected in frequencies or percentage, while in other studies they collected in values, like modified black index or a black index. So that's why we saw that there is a lot of heterogeneity. Like for example, for bone loss, some collected in mesial distal values, other collected as average. One study collected in 6 regions, buccal, lingual, and that's why we have to find a solution so we can like have uniform results so that they are able to compare it.
Thank you. So it can be an implication for researchers.
Yeah.
Thank you. And just one question that, as far as I remember, that the technical failure rate was higher for titanium,
Yeah.
which was surprising because I saw that titanium, so with zirconium there are more fracture can happen, or what was this technical, screw loosening or fracture or?
Screw loosening, veneering fracture, chipping like this, but it was statistically maybe non-significant, but maybe of clinical relevance as maybe all the studies maybe on one side, so I don't know, but it was more with titanium compared to zirconia.
It's very interesting because if only considering this result, it seems that the titanium shouldn't be used anymore, but which is very surprising because the technical complication is, I think, is the primary interest, and the second is the aesthetic. But and another question: that do they distinguish between zirconium abutment with titanium base and pure zirconium?
The hybrid abutments or something. There is no mention of such things, like either zirconia or titanium. I tried to see about the hybrid abutments, but there was no mention at all.
I think most of them are titanium based nowadays. I think the pure zirconium just went out.
Yeah, the only problem may be the chipping of zirconia from titanium, but it combines the durability with the aesthetics.